Hey, folks, we are back for another episode of It's Consulting Time, where we are always bringing you a plethora of creatives, innovators, and leaders from around the globe. Purpose over popularity is our motto, and we pride ourselves on honoring legends as well as introducing aspiring and emerging independent creatives to the world. Remember, we are always prepared to leave you with joy, jewels, and justice. Let's chat with our special guest. Born in the small town of Quincy, Florida, Dr. Brenda Jefferson grew up a sheltered, shy, and bound by an overwhelming spirit of fear. But guess what? Yes. Today, she is transformed by the renewing of her mind, body, and soul. And she is ready to let you know why she's a youth leader, author, songwriter, pastor, and philanthropist. Welcome, Dr. Brenda Jefferson.
Wow, thank you so much for that great introduction.
Absolutely.
I'm in Tampa, Florida now, so God has brought me out of that little bitty country town.
Wow. So, all right, first and foremost,
yes,
let's just talk about it, because I grew up in a small city, Danville, Virginia, went to Richmond, Virginia, that was about 2.5 hours away, and now in Atlanta.
Yes.
Talk to us about the transition growing up in a small country area with a lot of time with small-minded people.
One correction. I grew up in Tampa, Florida, and I moved to a small town, Quincy, Florida.
Oh my goodness.
I got married and moved to Quincy. I got married. My husband was from his family all was from Quincy, Florida.
Wow. So you transitioned back to Tampa.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, talk to us about the transition. So you went from Tampa to a small city back to Tampa.
Yes, yes, yes. And that transition was, I was glad to make that transition back to Tampa, because that small town, there's no growth there. And it's just, small, and everybody, know everybody, but nobody wants to grow. And I had a dream. So I wanted to move to Tampa, Florida to fulfill that dream.
Yes, 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 yes. So you have a couple of different things going on. So
yes,
I want to talk more about your philanthropy, because you have some amazing philanthropic interests. So I want to start by, what would you say are your top 3 philanthropic interests at this time?
My top 3 is, first of all, ministry. I love ministry and the youth ministry. And that's my top number 1 is the youth ministry. Yes. And then I love music. That music is my heart. And then I love fashion, clothing.
Yes, honey.
Yes. So I love creating new styles and clothing. I see something and I see you with that top on. I said, oh man, if I could just do that to that top right there, I mean, it just really make it pop. So that's number 3.
Okay. You know what's so interesting? Youth ministry, music, and fashion. All the things that we use to connect with the babies.
You're right.
All right. So, Dr. Brenda, let's just go there.
Okay.
We live in a time where there are, I don't want to say very few of us that believe, that witness freely and openly on all platforms.
Yes.
But our babies are so confused.
Yes.
Because the ways of the world have become so commercialized and sensationalized.
Yes, yes.
How do you minister to babies? How?
You know what? I minister to those babies like, just talking. They want to know that you care. And this past weekend we had MBJ Connect, And we had the kids there. We had games. We had rappers come in and talk to the kids and talk. We talked about their dream and really casting their dream forth, and that their dreams are possible. So I deal with a lot of kids that come from the drug abuse families and alcoholic families and stuff. So these kids feel like, it's not possible. They have to live the life that their parents live. And I'm here to tell them, no, you don't. You can make a difference. You can start that transformation now with you. Just finishing school and just doing great things. And so I got a lot of kids that was making F's and D's. Now they're making A's and B's. And I'm so proud of them.
Yes. And I can already tell you have a very nurturing spirit. And I think that it speaks to the fact that you have a passion for working with the young people. And the fact that you are a fashionista, that definitely gives you influence and impact. Because, honey, these babies, they have a very interesting sense of fashion. But I guess our parents said the same thing about us.
Yes, yes, yes. I had on a pair of tennis shoes and the kids looked at me and said, oh, I mean, they know the fashion and they just went crazy. So then I get the attention on a lot of things like that, just the small things, and the kids get excited.
Yes, yes. Now, Dr. Brenda, how would you define success? Because success looks so different across the board. But how do you define success?
I define success and not like people think you got to have a lot of money to be successful. The big house and the cars, but I don't look at that as success. I look at that if you just take, put God first in your life, and that's success. That, hey, wait a minute, I got God, and I know that God's going to help me to fulfill my dream, and He's that center. So then when I look at knowing that, and I tell kids all the time, I say, anything's possible when you trust God, when you believe God. And then I let them know, like yesterday, I told them, I say, hey, wait a minute, you can fulfill your dream because all things are possible to those that believe. So if you're a believer, you can have anything you want. Just the mindset. You have to transform your mind to the mind of Christ. And we live in now faith. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence things not seen. It doesn't matter because you don't see it right now. But you keep believing, you keep pressing towards that way that I'm going to be this teacher, I'm going to be this doctor, I'm going to be this lawyer, and just open your mind up and say, hey, wait a minute, I'm going to the top. And when you keep confessing something, I believe that the words that you speak out of your mouth are powerful. So when you open your mouth and speak powerful words, they do come to pass. Words are living. So when you open your mouth and say something, you say it long enough, you start believing it.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. And guys, Dr. Brenda, she's talking about the event that they just did this past weekend. And they had a wellness and healthcare fair, live entertainment, clothing and grocery giveaway. But last month, really less than 3 weeks ago, you had something, you hosted Ladies and Lyrics.
Yes, yes.
Bit about that, because I see you had Iana Crawley, Tammy Haddon. Tell us a little bit about that event.
Oh, that was awesome. I mean, we had a great time. I mean, Pastor, I think she's I don't want to title her wrong, Apostle. Sam Franklin, was a powerhouse. Tammy Haddon, I mean, Yanni, I mean, that's my girl. We had a great time, and it was just so powerful. And I mean, they delivered those songs. I mean, it was so fulfilling. I mean, I danced that night and clapped my hands, and I mean, we had Lexi, she was hosting, and it was such a great night. I mean, it was great.
Wow. Guys, if you're just checking in, we are talking with Dr. Brenda Jefferson, and she is utterly amazing. She is a woman of God, but guess what? She's human also. And she legitimately works effortlessly to make sure that our babies, and guess what? Babies don't just have to be under 18, because some of us are still babes in Christ.
Yes.
Let's just talk about it.
Yes.
But Dr. Brenda, it's consulting time, and we really like to talk about the issues. We like to have fun, and we like to uplift and inspire.
Yes.
But I want to get a little personal.
Okay.
Because you are a domestic abuse survivor.
Yes, yes,
And you made a difficult decision
yes,
to walk away with
yes,
children.
yes, yes. And
Talk to us about it. And I want you to speak to that decision to walk away with children. Because you know, this day and time, for men and women, I gotta stay
yes,
for my kids.
yes, yes,
To us a little bit about, you know, that decision and any advice you would give to someone that feels that they're bound there.
yes. Well, that decision I had to make, that I had to walk away because after a while, if you keep standing, because my mother was through the same thing, abuse, and her husband was abusive to her. And so I had to make up in my mind, I had to walk away. 4 kids, it's not easy when you got 4 kids and you need to provide for these kids. And you, and now even when women tell me, say, I can't leave because of my children, I gotta, provide for my kids. And I tell them, no, God will help you provide, because even when I walked away and I didn't have a dime, God will send people to me to bring me food and just bless me and say, I don't know, just I had it in my heart. I want to bless you with this here. I went fishing and I want to I brought you some fish. God would always have a way to provide for me. So I'm telling women today, you don't have to, and now in this day and time, you don't have to stand for that, because there's so many centers that you can go to get help. But don't diminish yourself and make yourself feel like that you're nothing, because in an abuse relationship, it can really put your spirit down, that you feel like you have to do this here. Did I do something to cause this to happen? And then you have to make up, hey, I didn't do anything for this to happen. But I know one thing, I know that I've got to get out of this relationship. And I know that when you make a step, or you make up your mind and say, hey, wait a minute, I'm coming out of this relationship. You come out, God will provide, and he'll make a way for you to come out of that relationship. And you won't miss a beat. And I did not miss a beat. My kids never went hungry. I never went hungry. God took care of us and kept a roof on our head. So fear can stop you. Fear can stop you from going forth and being delivered from that abusive relationship. You don't have to put up with that anymore. So I tell women today, you can make it. You don't have to put up with abusive relationship, abusive man fighting you and abusing you. You don't have to have that. So I'm just excited to be able to be one of those that's still living and saying that you can come out of this here. You don't have to take abuse. You don't have to take verbal abuse. Verbal abuse is just as bad as abuse with people putting their hands on you. So
Tell it.
that's I tell women, you can make it.
That's
All things
it.
are possible. You can make it.
That's it. That's it.
Yes.
So, all right, let's shift gears once again. So you're now remarried
Yes.
and you have been
Wonderful husband.
serving with your husband in ministry for over 30
Yes.
years, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, and guys,
Yes.
the beauty here is that they have been able to preach the gospel to many nations,
Yes.
Africa,
Yes.
Jamaica, the
Yes.
Caribbeans. They have been
Yes.
all over, and so a global ministry is something unique and spectacular, and
Yes.
we salute you for this. But then you are
Yes.
also the CEO of Scripture Music.
Yes. Scripture Music Group. Yes.
Honey, let's talk about these 3 albums: Time of Refreshing,
Yes.
Pen of a Ready Writer, and
Yes.
Implication. I mean,
Yes.
just the titles already got me ready to shout.
Yes. Yes.
So tell me a little bit about kind of how you cultivated the label, but
Yes.
also the story behind one of your favorite albums. Which one is
Uh-huh.
your favorite?
Well, my favorite is Time of Refreshing, because that album is a powerful album, which all of them is, but this one, with Lisa Page Brooks, "Oh Clap Your Hands," that was, I mean, a great song, and it's just so many songs on there that God just blessed. So I think Time of Refreshing was great. Jamie, he was with Seven, and he sung Seven. 7-4, I think it was. All for One, that's what it was. All for
Okay,
One.
okay, okay.
And he sung the song Time of Refreshing.
Oh,
And that song is amazing. And we just had so many amazing people on that album. So I just thank God for giving me Scripture Music Group and giving me the people that I go to and I tell them, hey, you know, I'm doing this, I'm writing this song. I need you to sing this song for me. And I have never got a no. So God has
yeah,
blessed me
honey,
all these
yes.
years.
Oh my goodness, that is
Yes,
amazing. Guys,
yes,
y'all know I
yes,
love me some
yes,
good gospel music. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I like my hymns too. I love me
yes,
some
yes.
hymns because I
I
grew up
love the
on them
hymns
hymns,
too.
honey.
Yes. But
I
you,
love some good gospel music, and honey,
oh
cut
yes.
that music. Give me some good
Uh-huh.
that music, and we can talk about something.
And the music can bless the soul and make you happy, even when you're having a down day. You just
Listen,
clap your
yes,
hands and lift your hands and just start thanking God.
honey, I love it because you know a lot of beats that I hear now, and I tell people
Yes,
all the time,
yes,
you can tell when a musician started playing the guitar or the
yes,
keys in church because
yes,
I don't care what they play in a
yes,
band,
yes,
they're gonna always put that dun, dun, dun. It's gonna be in there. And
yes,
so you can't
yes.
take it, you can't take him out of nothing you do.
You can't
He's
take
gonna
him out.
always
No.
be there, even when you're trying.
Yeah, you got that right. That is so true. That is so true.
Guys, this is Dr. Brenda Jefferson, and we are really having a good time and just
I'm enjoying
and
talking with you.
I I'm so excited because during this season of thankfulness, and I'm being
Yes.
very careful using
Mhm,
the word Thanksgiving because I had an opportunity and I
mhm,
posed the question to somebody and I said,
mhm.
what are you thankful for during this season of Thanksgiving?
Right.
And they triggered me. And
Uh-huh.
I'm glad they did because they said, well, I am an indigenous people.
Uh-huh.
I don't celebrate it for what it was, but I am
Right.
thankful in the here and now. And so I'm
Yes.
going to say,
Yes.
during this holiday season,
Yes.
tell us what you are the most thankful for.
Well, you know what? I had some loved ones and friends to go on with the Lord during COVID and just, passing. And I'm just thankful for life. I'm thankful that I can give back to the community. We gave Thanksgiving, and what we did this year was so phenomenal because what we did was we let them shop. We set it up where they can walk through and pick out their canned goods, pick out their turkey, and pick out everything full for a Thanksgiving full meal. So I'm thankful that God allowed us to have people to help us to put this event on, and it was just such a blessing. So I'm thankful
It
just
is a blessing.
life to be able to help people. And that's my joy when I see people that can be fed, that people that don't have money to buy food, or don't have a lot of them didn't even have a decent place to stay, but they're staying with other
Absolutely.
people, but they want to contribute.
Absolutely.
And so we were able to help people that didn't have Thanksgiving food. So I'm thankful for that.
Guys, giving thanks.
Mhm.
Giving thanks is as simple as calling on his name and
Yes,
just saying, Lord, I thank you. And so,
I thank you.
Dr. Brenda Jefferson, you are a multi-talented wife, mother, motivational speaker, philanthropist who continues to work
Yes,
unselfishly. And we have to salute you. You work side by side with your husband. Shout out to him, Bishop B. Jefferson.
thank you.
And we really thank you so much for coming over here and sitting down with us and truly telling your story. Guys, this is not the last time you are going to hear from Dr. Brenda Jefferson. So
Thank you
I
so
want you to
much.
make sure that you head on over to her website, Dr.
Yes.
Brenda. I'm sorry, it's
Uh-huh.
www.brendajefferson.com. She's on Instagram at Dr. Brenda J, and she's on Facebook at Dr. Brenda Jefferson. And guys, tap in. Let's start to run up the numbers on those individuals who believe in purpose over popularity and continue to bring you joy, jewels, and justice. Have a great evening, ladies and gentlemen.